According to Brown County's 2022 Food Insecurity Report, the amount of families struggling to put food on the table is up by more than 30% compared to data from 2014.
Today, the UW Extension released this new mapping tool, which pinpoints accessible food resources across 4 counties in our area. New at 4, Emily Riley explains how the map works and what the UW Extension hopes it can accomplish.
A growing number of families are struggling with the cost of food, according to data from Brown County's 2022 Food Security Report. UW Extension Brown County introduced a new virtual food access map Tuesday, which tracks local food resources. Andrea Cresson, Brown County Public Health's Community Engagement Manager, says the goal is to connect those in need with accessible resources.
Food is a universal connector. It contributes to health in communities, and by ensuring that families who live in Brown County have access to the food that they need, food that's culturally familiar, Extension Brown County is making a meaningful difference in our community.
You can find the food access map on the Extension Department of the Brown County website. The website includes 7 categories, including community gardens, stores that accept electronic benefits, farmers markets, food pantries, grocery stores, cultural grocery stores, and meal programs. Each is represented by a different icon on the map. Crescent says they're relying on their partners at these stores, gardens, and pantries to get the word out to community members.
To bring awareness of all the really great resources that we have in our county, and then also see where there's opportunities and gaps for people who are maybe unable to access those existing resources.
In Green Bay, Emily Riley, Action 2 News.